Hey guys, it's Haps, and in today's video, I've got another 5 of a kind for you. Yes, I've got the 5 dodos. We've got the dodo train. But before we get into the gameplay, I've just got a couple of things. Firstly, apologies for my voice. If it sounds a little bit funny, it's because I'm a little under the weather. But I wanted to get this commentary out for you guys. And then secondly, please don't judge me on the name. The Moist Hostesses. Basically, whenever I'm in a SAP session, I just speed run the name choice. I literally just click any 2 boxes, and it's quite funny that the Moist Hostesses is the video that is going up to YouTube. But let's just get into the gameplay, and I'll kind of talk you through it. Now, the reason I've gone for the 5 dodos is because there is a proposed change. So when the update comes out in January, not quite sure when in January yet, but when the update comes out in January, the dodo is in line to get a nerf. Now, it's currently a 2-3, and it gives 50%, 100%, and 150% of its attack to the pet in front. The proposed change is the dodo moves to a 3-3, so slightly better stat line, but it gives 33%, 66%, and then 100% to the pet in front. So the transfer of attack stats becomes a lot less. So the dodo train actually gets weakened by this nerf, and you know, any build that gets weakened is obviously going to become a lot harder to get. So I thought I would try and get it before the update comes out. And so I did grind it for a couple of sessions, and we managed to get it over the line. Now, the process I took was to try and get a stacked dodo early on and to put it behind a turtle. And you can see here, we managed to level into the turtle quite early. And we've got the dodo there. Currently buffing the turtle. Now, the reason I wanted to focus a turtle as opposed to pets like the rooster, which pair up quite nicely, or even crab can work with dodo, is because the melon armor later on is going to be pretty much essential for this team, because this team is going to have a high amount of attack because of the train triggers, but it's going to have very little health. So having melon on as many of the dodos as possible is going to be almost a must for this to work. So by picking up an early turtle, if we manage to level it quickly, then we can pill for multiple melon later on. But, you know, worst case, if we don't level it up at all, we're getting melon each turn whenever the turtle faints, and then we're able to pill it a little bit later. So I do think that that was the key to this run. And we've managed to get our first level 2 dodo. This was another thing. I wanted to get the most stacked dodo to level 2. Because the way that the train works is it will work with the highest attack first. Now, in this instance, we've got the level 2 with 26 attack. That then moves its attack stats onto the pet in front, which then essentially has a higher attack than everything else, which then moves its attack stats onto the pet in front. And if you have a train of dodos, it basically just transfers attack stats all the way down the line. But you'll notice here that I've not chained the 3 dodos. And that is because I want to keep as much stats as I can onto that turtle. By adding another level 1 dodo into this chain of 3, it would essentially dilute the stats a little bit. So I wanted to try and keep as many stats as I could on the turtle as possible. So I just had the level 2 into the level 1 on to the turtle. But if we manage to get another level 2, then maybe I'll bring in that 3rd dodo. But I put the stake on that front dodo just to disrupt the opposing team in the meantime. Now, here you'll see I bring in a crocodile, which is a bit of a strange move because you have the leopard there. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I did that. One is, if I brought in the leopard, I would have to put it in front of the level 2 dodo, transfer the stats onto the leopard, which means that I won't be buffing the rest of the team. I won't be buffing the rest of the dodos in the chain. And secondly, so many of my runs lost to turkey or shark. And the one thing about the crocodile is you can guarantee it's going to attack the pet at the back. So weakening any summon team, should I say. So in this run, you can see here, we come up against this team and we take another L, which actually puts us down to lethal. So I thought this was most likely to follow most of my other runs and be a little bit of a bust. We get rid of crocodile here because I want to buy sell the cow, and then this is where we bring in the leopard, and you'll see a good example here of what I meant by the stats getting diluted. In fact, I actually don't even bother with the chain on this run, which is a little bit of a strange choice, but it does work out perfectly because look at the placement of that scorpion against that camel there. That was the big difference. We lose that if we don't have the scorpion in that position. So we find 2 more chocolates, and the problem with buying these here is that we may not have enough gold to find the following dodos. That's even if we get that far. But we do find a dodo, so we bring it in, and we have another chocolate in the shop. But to be honest, At this point, I just need one more dodo. I don't even need to think about chocolate. So I just end the turn. And we go into this, and we obviously have a pretty stacked leopard here. So we attack the mosquito. Thankfully, we had the steak, which was able to wipe out that bison. And we go into our final turn. And this is it. This is where I'm just going to roll down looking for that final dodo. And boom, we find it. Now, I do something a little bit strange here. I actually mix up the order and put the steak first. This is a bit of a misplay, but we send it anyway. And there we have it. We got it over the line. Even with a little bit of a misplay at the end. If we had put the level 2 dodo with the steak in front of the other 2 level 2s, it would have transferred 50 attack forward. But thankfully, it didn't make a difference. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.